Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the Hypergamous Mindset. And today I am coming to you guys, first video for 2021 with a question because I'm answering a question. This is one of my Q&A videos because you all know I love to do this. I have the question right in front of me. So we're gonna get to that question in a minute. But ladies, if you like my content, if you like this video, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. Also, please check out the links in my description. Come join my Patreon because on my Patreon, every week on every Thursday, we come together and discuss advanced and in-depth topic based on hypergamy, social climbing, well building, etc. So if that's something that you're interested in, please feel free to come and sign up with the link below. Also, come join my free group. I'm going to post a link below for you to join my free group. You can also follow me on Instagram, and also if you would like to join my paid private hypergamous mindset group, you can also send me a DM on Instagram. I'm just going to let you guys know that you do have to pass a screening process in order for you to get to that group. So having said all that, let's jump right in. And oh, by the way, ladies, before I forget, Happy New Year. I'm wishing all of you lovely ladies prosperity, abundance, good health, and I wish all of you to find a high value provider man. Okay, ladies, so let's get into the question. So I'm gonna read a question for you guys. Someone sent this question to me. The person that asked this question, I don't know who she is. I wish she had asked me this question because I would have been able to help her, but I am going to answer her question. And the person that sent me this question, if you can share this video, please go right ahead. So let me go read the question. Hi, I need some advice. So me and my boyfriend decided to move in together. This is only his second night here. How do you bring up the conversation of who pays what? I feel weird bringing it up. I am widowed. My husband paid for everything. I have 4 children. Please help. Okay, first of all, let me just say that I am so sad that, she's asking this question because I feel like, she should have asked this question before she even move him in. So ladies, I'm just gonna answer the question like if I'm talking to the lady. So honey, what you should have done was you should have done this, have this discussion, this conversation before he moves in, because you do not decide to move in or decide to get into a committed relationship or decide to be exclusive to one person without having that conversation first and without the talk, that negotiation period. And what do I mean by the negotiation period? Well, not really a period, but during the honeymoon period in your relationship, you're just dating, you're just getting to know each other, and it's so exciting. Everyone goes through that, and that's like one of my favorite parts of the beginning of a relationship, up until the point where you decide, well, okay, I'm gonna have this person. I'm gonna decide to keep this person around and include this person in my life. So before you even get to that, ladies, you must have a sit down with this person and negotiate who does what, whatever. You gotta talk about your roles in the relationship, because there is something called gender roles that people don't talk about because people want to pretend that it doesn't exist. You are a woman and this is a man coming in your relationship together. You are not equal. You both bring something special and unique to the table. And I don't want people, do not ever get into a situation thinking that you are equal to a man, because at the end of the day, you're just going to end up with a roommate. And this might be a roommate situation, or even worse, it can be a situation where you're taking care of a grown man, including your 4 children. So where you went wrong is moving him in, because you both decided that you guys were going to move in together. So obviously there must have been a conversation. But why didn't you have this conversation? Because ladies, one of the biggest problems in relationships is money. And I don't care what anyone says. You can love someone as much as you can, but if there's an issue with money, then that relationship is doomed to fail. It's doomed from the start. So I do not know what your financial situation is, because obviously I would need more details to add context. But If you're widowed, I'm going to assume that your husband, well, you did say that your husband was a provider, so I'm going to assume that your husband left you some money. I do not know if you have a job. I do not know all of this information. I wish I knew so that I can help a little bit more, but honestly, I do not know what the situation is, other than what I see in front of me in this question, you know. So you are widowed, you have 4 children that you have to raise yourself because your husband is no longer around. You had time to date, so why didn't you talk about this before you move him in? So I mean, it's only his second night. Well, you know, by the time I'm reading this, obviously if he's still in your house, it means that, you know, he's been in there longer than 2 nights. He's only been in there recently. What I would suggest is that you have that talk with him immediately before it's too late. And you know, it's just so sad that you have to do that. You do this and you're asking this question, because God alone knows what his expectations were. Sorry, God alone knows what his expectations were. And I'm surprised that he didn't have this. You guys didn't have this conversation. You guys are grown. Like, you guys are not children. You're not young, you know. That this is you're a grown woman and he's a grown man. You got kids. You've been married and you've been widowed. And I'm just really disappointed that people are still doing this, still getting together with someone and not knowing where they stand. All of this should be established before you decide to move in. And you know, the fact that you say that this is your boyfriend, you know, like, you know, there's no mention of getting married or anything like that. Like, I do not know why this guy is moving in with you with your kids, and you're not married to this guy. Like, why would you put your children in such a situation? Because this is a huge red flag. Maybe you are trying to replace your husband. Maybe you are still grieving your husband. Maybe you are not ready for another relationship. Maybe you should think about that, because I feel like if you were ready, you would have talked about this. You would have established each other's role in the situation before you decide to you know, move in together and decide to get into a serious relationship. You know, so he's still your boyfriend, and boyfriend doesn't mean anything, because you all know what my definition of a boyfriend is. A boyfriend is, repeat after me ladies, a youth and beauty stealer. That's basically what he is. He's not your husband. I do not believe in living with a man who is not your husband. And you are a woman with children, and I'm assuming that your children is living with you because your husband is dead. You moving in your boyfriend in the same house with your children, and this is not your husband, so he's not even their stepdaddy. You know, so my advice to you is get out of this situation immediately. You know, I don't really have time to sit here and point out the red flags, because they are very glaring and anyone can see it. Anyone can see these red flags. My advice to you is to move him back out. Get him out of your house, get him away from your children, and sit down and have this discussion with this man. If you're looking for a provider and you know he's willing to pay the bills and take care of you and provide for your children, then he should be also willing to marry you. Because and honestly, I don't think this guy wants to marry you, because you're already moving him in with your children. I don't even know why you're doing this. In my opinion, I feel like this is so irresponsible. Please don't do this to your children, because I promise you that you are going to regret this. You know, so like this is more than just who pays what. You know, like, there are children involved here, and you know, I wish more women would use more common sense. And you know, I wish more women would pay attention and protect their children instead of, you know, dating guys and moving in boyfriends. Like, why? Ooh, this is so disturbing to me. I don't like this. I'm not a fan of what's going on here. Okay, so step one, have this conversation and tell him, like, listen, maybe we are moving too fast. I feel we should scale back a little bit, and I think that you should move back out, and we should come together and discuss where we're going to move forward in this relationship from here. If he loves you, he will understand. Okay, so that's step one. Have a conversation with him. Tell him that you would like him to move out. You don't feel comfortable. You know, tell him that you have been married for so long. You would prefer that, you know, the relationship goes beyond a boyfriend. And ladies, if you're a grown woman with children, don't be out here calling no man your boyfriend. This damn cat, y'all. Step two, after you have decided who's going to pay for what, who is going to fulfill what role in this relationship, start talking about marriage. Because if you are a woman with children, please, I do not encourage dating um to have a boyfriend and moving in together. That is not healthy for your children. You are putting your children in a toxic situation. So step two, start talking about marriage. If he doesn't want to marry you, he's not ready for marriage, then he's not ready to move in with you and your children. Because more than likely he's going to tell you that he's not ready for marriage. He may more than likely tell you that he's not ready to pay your bills and be responsible and take care of you and your children. Because what kind of man? No, sorry about that. I had to put her outside. Yeah. So like I was saying, where was I? Yeah, I don't think this guy is ready to be a provider, and I don't think this guy is ready for marriage. This guy came to you in this relationship with, and you got kids, and I want you ladies to understand that there are a lot of men out here who are predators, and there are a lot of men that target single mothers. So this was from a mom group, and this has nothing to do with race or anything like that, guys. Because I know a lot of people who are listening is going to assume that this woman is black. She is not. But so don't save the judgment, guys. But please, ladies, there are a lot of men out here who target single mothers because they think that single mothers are desperate. They think that they're going to accept anything because they're single mothers. Ladies, please try to escape from that type those type of guys, because these guys are toxic, and it's a huge red flag. It's very alarming to me that this man has moved in with you and he hasn't told you what he's going to do for you and your children. You guys haven't had that conversation and he already moved in. When did you guys decide to do this? Like when you guys were deciding, what was the conversation was like? Like, I don't know. So for the ladies who are dating right now, and you have a guy who thinks that it's a good idea to move in together, don't do it. Because when my husband and I were dating, he asked me to move in with him, and I told him point blank that I'm not doing it because I don't live with men that I'm not married to. And 2 weeks later he proposed. So I want you ladies to, if a guy really wants you and he really wants to take you off the market, he is going to marry you. He's not going to be like, oh, marriage is just a piece of paper. Oh, well, let's live together to see how well we do, blah, blah, blah. Like, don't do it, ladies, because you are setting up yourself for heartache and failure, and you are probably going to end up losing a lot of money. Okay, and you ladies, you gotta consider this. You gotta consider some of the laws in some countries or states that you live in, because in some countries and in some states in the United States, if someone has picked up a residence in your place, you can't just ask them to leave, because they can't leave just like that. You have to wait until whenever they're ready and whenever they can afford to move out. And what if that person? What if it takes a year for that person to move out? Like, you don't want to end up in a situation like that. So you really have to be careful. Ladies, stop moving these men into your homes. Like, I do not know what type of behavior that is in. I just feel bad for this new generation. But ladies, please stop it. Okay, do not be out here pretending that gender role doesn't exist, because it does. I don't care what people tell you. I don't care what the progressives have told you. But please don't do it, ladies, because it's not. Especially if you are a feminine woman and you're looking for a provider man, don't do it. And ladies, always negotiate what you want in a relationship before you get into that relationship. I had a conversation with my husband. I told him that when I move in, I'm not going to be paying any bills. I told him that I expect him to take care of me. I also told him that I'm not Martha Stewart, so I'm not going to be cooking and cleaning and stuff like that, because even though I do cook and clean, I don't want him to think that that is expected of me and that is my job, because I have to focus on my passions, and I don't think I'll have time to do that if I'm cooking and cleaning in this house. Like, I can't do it. If that was my focus, trust and believe, ladies, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys right now. So always negotiate, have the discussion before you move in together or get married, and preferably marriage, because please, the moving in together and the shacking up, it has to stop. Okay, ladies, so that's all I have for this video today. Ladies, thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate all of you, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.